bro.
Hey, bro.
Another QOC production.
What it do?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say, hey.
Hey, bro.
Forward from there, so that's what brought this whole partnership.
Say, let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
Funny because he fell.
say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro. Say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro. Say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man, we talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother, we ride to the end. Back to a position where we live.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? As y'all come in, let me know if y'all can hear me. Something's going on weird tonight. Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. Just want to make sure that y'all can see us and y'all can hear us.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Another QOC production.
What it do?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say, hey.
Hey, bro.
Moving forward from there, so that's what brought this whole partnership.
Say, let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
Funny because he fell.
say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro. Say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro. Say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man, we talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother, we ride to the end. Back to a position where we live.
What's going on with you, everybody? If y'all is in the chat, let me see the likes and the hearts going. Let me know. Let me know what's good. Let me know if the sound is good before we get underway tonight. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Again, people, let me know what the sound is like before we start moving. Blessings, my brother. We got the Honorable Bishop in the house tonight. Blessings, Brother Michael. If y'all is in the chat as y'all coming in, let me know how everything is sounding. Okay, we got some hearts up there. I'm hoping. Y'all let me know. We can't go forward without hearing if the sound is good. Say, all right. Michael said the sound is good. So we moving forward. Hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is blessed no matter where you are and where you're coming from. We pray over here and trust, especially for the brothers, that your day was blessed and that the goodness of the Lord was seen evident in your day. That is the most important thing above all things. And I'm truly thankful. Was today the best day it could ever have been? No. But was it a blessed day? Yes. So I thank y'all for being here tonight. And Chris had some last minute emergency to attend to. So as we are handling it, he said, don't worry, if he can chime in and he gets the business taken care of, he will. If he can't, then we will just keep him lifted as we move along. All right. Well, welcome to the A Bro Show, where we are real men having real talk about real life, aiming for real solutions. Yes, that is why we are here tonight. And in case y'all don't know where to find us, because maybe some of y'all is under a rock, maybe some of y'all got this a little misconstrued, but make sure you go over to your number one platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube. No matter where you are, you can find us at the QOC Network. And if we was on DaRealReel, I'd be spelling that right about now, but we on the QOC Network. It don't get no much simpler than that. So y'all just forward over here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this network. We've got some powerful brothers and sisters moving over here. For those who like your movies, we got the horror show, the horror Netflix show, and we was getting back into it. Keela had to put it down and let us know that, hey, some of these horror movies she's been watching since 9 years old. I mean, if we being honest, a lot of us was introduced to that when we had nothing to watch on a Saturday night. Mama's gone out, daddy's gone out, and these were the movies that we were watching. Let's not act like that's not the case. So okay. See, this is what I like, technology. I'm telling you, we got the broadcast position over here, and I just saw whoops, and it's just moving along. It's moving and grooving. So we good, we glad, and I'm glad for everything over here. As we move tonight, and let's get everything in order. We got the likes and the hearts. Make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. Send this to a friend, because tonight's show, we are making sure that we are tackling, as this year, as we go on this show, we're tackling the whole man. And as we go forth with our brothers and our sisters, you're going to see some esteemed panelists, esteemed guests, some of our own QOC family members coming to share, both brothers and sisters, men and women. And so we just want to set the premise and set the table that as we go forth in 2026, we're aiming for mastery of self. Tonight is not going to be one of those shows where we rag on what relationships and who's the breadwinner and who's the leader and whose fault is it for the demise of the community. Before we get to all of that, we must acknowledge that there are some things within us internally, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually that very well could be out of order. And if we are going to bring those things into order, we must address them. We must identify them both in the physical and the spiritual, mental and emotional, and be able to capture what is going on with our foundation, work on it to get rid of the old and get into the new. What do we want to get into the new? The new of you. And we just don't want you to be brand new, driving like you driving a Maserati and you ain't never experiencing that speed. No, 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 no. Build it from the ground up. We want to start with the foundation. So as we go forth and as we get into this tonight, without further ado, we going right into the topic, which is mastery of self in 2026. Again, like, share, and subscribe. We over here on the QOC Network. We've got something for everybody over here. And sure enough, soon enough, we're going to have a whole Sunday service over here too. I'm speaking it into existence. Amen and amen. Tonight, we're not talking motivation. We're talking mastery. The fact of the matter is, because 2026 will not reward the most talented. It won't. It will reward the most disciplined, the most focused, the most self-aware. I like that. I was actually praying with somebody earlier, and we actually put that in our prayer. God, help us to be more self-aware so that we are not a contaminant unto the atmosphere that we hope to enhance, both at home, at work, and abroad. If you can't master yourself, you can't master your future. Drop in the chat, what's one area you know you need to level up on this year? Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. It's a safe space. If you know, whether you might, be like me in former times, you talk too much. Might just be the case. Every time you walk into a room, you got something great to say, but you take over the conversation until the point where somebody's on some, they be telling you to straight shut up. So we don't want that to happen. We want to have great self-awareness this year. So again, drop it in the chat. What's one area you know you need to improve on this year and level up on this year? And again, my name is Conrad, one half of the host for the A-Bro Show right here on the QOC Network. My brother, our brother, Coach Chris, he's handling some business and he couldn't step away at the moment. If he's finishing time, he will definitely pop over. If not, we're going to keep him lifted. Get the likes up, get the hearts up, wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube, share, and let's engage and let's go. So the first area where we are going to start on tonight is, and this is where it all starts. This is where your foundation is. We're going to master our mind. The scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. For out of the heart doth come the matters of life. So there's two ends to this. We want to explore that your life will follow your dominant thoughts. Now, the reason why this is important is because in many different arenas, whether it's sports, whether it's relationships, whether it's work, whatever it is, whatever you are, whatever arena it is that you want to win at, you have to have a mindset that focuses on winning. But there's something about having a mastered mindset. You also have to be aware enough of your mindset that there's something about your mind, your pattern of thoughts, that can go against the end result that you're looking to achieve. So we want to look at, do we have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset? A growth mindset is going to take the time to sit there and say, okay, what do I need to improve on? What can I add in? What do I need to learn? What am I weak in? Right? But the fixed mindset, it's a focused mindset. It's not just about what do I need to do, but it's also about how am I going to do what I need to do. I was saying to somebody earlier today, in a situation that I'm dealing with right now, okay, I identified it. I acknowledged it. And in identifying and acknowledge, the next step is making the plan. What do I need to do? How am I going to tackle this to move forward? And the fact of the matter is the growth mindset and these two, growth and a fixed mindset, they're two sides to the same coin, but they operate differently. The growth mindset is more of, again, what nutrients, what do I need to take in? Me and Pastor Michael, we were talking about something along this topic. It's not just about what I need to take in or what I'm hearing now, but I need to put it into action. So I have a fixed mind. I have a made up mind that I have to get somewhere. And it's not just somewhere, it's a specific goal. And because we have specific goals, we have a plan of growth, of maturation, levels to levels of increase. And that is monumental as we move forward. The victim thinking versus ownership. Now, when we talk about the victim thinking, when we talk about it in the aspect of social media, it's usually as it refers to relationships, it's usually as it refers to a finite or a few matters, and it overlaps. But in this case, the victim thinking is life's not fair. This is always happening to me. Why does it gotta be me? Why this? Why that? But the ownership mindset, and it's not just about accepting. It's something I said in the growth and the fixed mindset. I acknowledge the situation that I'm in. I acknowledge the fact that I might not know what I think I knew. If we're going to master our mindset, then we've got to declutter and debunk some things. We're going to have to look into our life, look into the way we've led up until this point. How have I lived? Now, I want this to hit home, so I'm going to say some things, not because I think I'm better than you, but because I was once there, and in certain cases, I'm still there, but I'm working myself out. Okay? I was a liar. I was a thief. I was a backstabber. I was a gossiper. We've got to acknowledge that type of thinking is not growth. And it doesn't allow me to be focused and fixed unto where I want to go. It is actually not conducive to where I want to go, who I want to be in the long term. The victim thinking, why life's not fair? Why is this happening to me? Nothing I do ever comes out well. And look at other people. The good are getting good. The good are getting better and the bad are getting good. But what about me? The problem is with mastering the mindset is we have to acknowledge something that's very hard. It doesn't matter when you are focused on leveling up in terms of getting better, being better today and tomorrow than who you were yesterday. It doesn't matter about what's going on with other people, because life for them is not going to stop moving. And peradventure, you have never seen their worst day. You have never seen their life's not fair for them moment. You have never seen somebody else's mud on their face, the yoke on their face, the moment of embarrassment. So while you're saying life's not fair because they're getting ahead, that's right. I'll thank you. Akila said it. Life, going life regardless. It's true. So you're going to have to acknowledge that some things are going to happen. The question is what is my mental response to that? What is my mind's response to that? There are some things, and let's acknowledge this because we're not Superman or Superwoman. Let's acknowledge some things. There are some things that are going to happen that are going to rock your mind and make you literally sit in a corner and hold yourself while you're crying. And that is completely fine. What is not fine is staying there. That's not what you were made for. Your intellect was made to be above that, even though you're suffering through that. Let me say that again. Your mind was made for more than that, even though you're suffering through that. You cannot allow the circumference of your mind and the power of your intellect that God has given you to be succumbed because the situation is not fair and it's unfavorable. If I could put this out there, does anybody really realize what's going on with the NBA and the product of the NBA? The less suffering you have is the less raw elements you have for greatness. Put that out there. The less suffering you have is the less elements you have for greatness. Raw elements. You'll never get another Michael Jordan because there were certain raw elements that created him. His dad was a raw element. Their household was a raw element. Him getting cut from high school was a raw element. You'll never have another Kobe Bryant because there were some raw elements that made Kobe Kobe. And peradventure, there's never going to be another LeBron James because there were some raw elements that made him. However, in the midst of those raw elements that didn't favor them, there was something about their mind that switched and they were able to overcome. They were able to power over, switch gears. And this brings us to something that me and Pastor Michael were talking about last night, about whether you build on the rock or you build on the sand. You've got to have mental discipline under pressure. We're going to get real on this. Brothers, we can't afford to be stuck in porn and masturbation just because we're frustrated and we need a release. I want you to view this and view your life and view mastering yourself as if you are a boxer. It means you are withdrawing from everything that is gratifying to your flesh. Because this fight right here is the fight that can make you the world champion. Imagine with me, if you could for a minute, that the moment you picked up or you leaned into your vices, whatever soothes you, whatever comforts you, whatever makes you feel that right now the situation you're going through is okay. Whatever that is, imagine with me that you are supposed to be going into a championship fight and you decide to give into your vice, and your vice might be porn, and I'm not demonizing you for that. What I am saying is giving yourself under porn and masturbation, especially as a man or a woman, is going to literally kill the energy and the raw momentum you have necessary to power over in the next situation that you will be in to be able to get over. And guess what? It's not about the situation, because the first situation you need to power over is the situation of self. So here's the question. How much of me do I want to put away so I can actually be in the position I want to be in? I'll say that again. How much of myself do I want to remove so I can be in the situation, I can have the level of success that I want to have? Oftentimes what we don't see is because what we haven't mastered our thinking. We're too busy in and out of the victim mentality and the victim thinking, rather than even for what has happened to me, even when it wasn't by my own hands, I'm going to own it. This situation will not own me. It will not impact my mentality. And let's be honest, and we have our big black therapist, Damani. So if you need a therapist, stay tuned, log into the QOC Network. He's got a wonderful show, and he's certified and accredited to help you go through. If you feel that you need some prayer, again, come right back into the QOC Network. We got a praiser in Quentin. We got the preacher in the house by Michael Turner. And we all can pray over here because we've been there. I heard somebody say the other day that prayer is good. Therapy is great, but therapy with prayer is dynamite. I like that. So mental discipline, we're going to have to bring ourselves under subjection. The thoughts that go wild, thoughts of hate, immediately ups, immediate downs, we need to hone and rein that in because that has literally raw energy. Anybody who knows my story or knows some of the stories of my life, I've been in many different arenas. I've been in many different atmospheres. I've seen many different things. But I'll tell you, as I sit here now, I once was homeless, but I'm not anymore. And you know what the joke is? I wouldn't say the joke is, but what is great about that story is that when I came out of being homeless, I brought 8 other brothers with me. And they all are living wonderful lives. We all are doing well. We've got to teach ourselves that pressure. We say pressure creates diamonds. No, pressure creates greatness. And I'm not going to rob myself of my greatness. So to have mental discipline when you're under pressure, if I could give you a quote, I would say, keep the main thing, and block out the noise. Don't get too high, don't get too low. And you're going to have certain mechanisms to be able to not get too high and not get too low. I use prayer and therapy, but I journal. Because these things help to get the expression of emotions to a level where they're expressed and they're not running rampant in my system. They're not running rampant in my mind, and I'm able to think clearly and make a decision. Don't tell yourself stories that don't reflect the reality that you're in, because it will damage you and keep you stuck in a place when the actual place has already passed you by. Renee said, I love my, yes, sir, I love my team. Yeah, we got a well-rounded team over here. Quick break. Make sure you go like, share, and subscribe to the QOC Network, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, we are there. QOC Network, can't miss us. And if you are missing us, then you know what you need to do? You need to adjust your crown. Your mindset is either building your future or protecting your excuses. I'll say that one more time. Your mindset is either building your future or protecting your excuses. On my current road of development, today I had to acknowledge something. I can either try to explain the situation away, or I can admit that I did a thing, acknowledge that I don't even know why I did it, but I've got to now bring it back and get to a solution so I can have, and so not just me, but the people around me can have some peace. What's going on, Willie? Blesses my brother. We got the sports bar in the house. If y'all in Dallas, if you want to have a good football breakdown, you need to get with my peoples, Willie Anderson and Pops, because they gonna break it down, and it's a good time with those brothers. And guess where they are? right here on the QOC Network. You see how much shows we just done listed off? Come on, son. Brandon, how much things we gonna say tonight we got out the QOC? If you need a producer, y'all remember that Michael scene when Michael Jordan was in the back of the bus at on The Last Dance and he's grooving to his music? Yeah, that's how I feel about the QOC Network. We just had about 4 different shows come through right here. If you need a producer, contact the QOC Network and ask for Brandon O'Soul. I guarantee he puts your music on the map. Willie said, appreciate the shout out, bro. Oh, it's all love all the time, every day, and twice on Sundays, brother. And I'm gonna give you guys that quote again. You can take it with you as we move on because we don't want time to get ahead of us too far. Anyways, your mindset is either building your future or protecting your excuses. You got to do a daily mental check. This is how we really practice our mental. We tackle and master our mental. We got to make sure we do a daily mental check. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What am I frustrated with? What do I not like? These are simple things, but we ignore them until we get home or until we get around people, and then we become frustrated more with them. I want to put this up to the screen. Our resident pastor said, there should be a time in your life where your potential becomes an insult to you. Because if you are still moving in the same vein as you were last year, then you are wasting the opportunity to reach greatness with the comfort of being just enough or just good enough and doing just enough to get by. Powerful. And whether we want to focus on the Black community or when we want to look at ourselves as a collective, at the end of the day, we must acknowledge that at some point we've remained stagnant too long. So how do we go from, what's the next step in this? We said we're going to tackle 7 points tonight. We're at point number 2. Thank you for rocking out with us. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share to the QOC Network. From Monday to Sunday, we got you. And as you come in, make sure you do what? Adjust your crown. The second thing we've got to focus on is mastering our discipline. Master your discipline. Motivation starts, discipline sustains. So let's look at this. Feelings and standards. And again, we're not really focusing on relationships, but you notice how the first 2 things are fundamental in being able to be a good partner. I'm learning why we here. So y'all don't think that Conrad's got it down, and Coach Chris would be able to tell you the same thing. Okay? Feelings versus standards. Feelings are fleeting. Feelings can be valid, but I have a saying, and it goes like this. You can be right in the sincerity of your feelings, and you can act wrong based on your feelings and be completely wrong. I say that again. Your feelings could be right, and how you act makes your feelings wrong. It invalidates how you feel because your standard should ultimately rein in your feelings. Now, does that mean you're a robot and you don't have moments when you break down? No, that's not what it means. What it means is you do not allow your feelings in an instant or a moment overtake you and override your ability to remain resolute. And when I say resolute, I mean you have a resolve that even though this thing is hard, even though I'm feeling what I'm feeling, I'm not going to crash out. That is necessary. Your standards should be so strong that they even put you in check when you feel away. That's not easy, especially for some of us men. That's not always easy because we've never had to do the everyday work. But what we're talking here now is about doing the everyday work to make sure that the standard for how I want to be seen, for how I want to be entreated, how I want to treat other people, how I see other people, how I see myself. I'm not going to allow myself to be subject to my feelings when I could be mad, like real mad this one moment, like I might want to hurt somebody. But at the same time, I know I can't crash out. It's not beneficial to me or anybody else if I was to be a crash out. It's just going to make me look like a fool and make some other content creator some money. We've got to have some non-negotiables. Again, this is not about dating and relationships. It could be applied to it, but this is not about that. Non-negotiables as we branch off from standards are things that I, under no circumstances, I am not going to negotiate with you and see if they can be changed, and I'm not going to negotiate with me and see if they can be changed. I got another saying. Me and my cousin been leaning on this. Make your anger so expensive that you cannot afford it, and neither can anybody else. You want me to get angry? Pay me. If you want me to be angry, you want me to sit down and argue and go back and forth and, you know what I mean, act like we ain't got no sense and I'm yelling and you yelling and nobody's making a point, we just making a bunch of noise. Okay, you got to pay me, and then I'll consider getting angry. See, here's the rationale in that. You're not going to pay me to watch me get angry about what you're talking about. You're not. So if you're not willing to pay for it, it means none of us need to be involved in it. Make your anger so expensive that neither you or anybody else can afford it. I refuse to get angry. And I'll tell and I'm telling y'all the truth. I say this all the time. I say maybe I got to find a way to say transparent. I got to change up my vocabulary. When I say I used to be an angry person to the degree where it brought me into a self-deluded state. Like I was so easily triggered in being angry that you could respond to me the wrong way, or what I perceive as the wrong way. I don't know if you had a bad day. I don't know if you're going through the worst time in your life. And because you didn't respond to me the way I wanted you to respond, all of a sudden I got a problem. We ain't trying to get comfortable in that. Yep. Whew. I actually got a video for that. I think you'll like it. We literally have to make sure that our non-negotiables, as we break off from the standards, our non-negotiables got to keep us in line. Here's the thing. You will become tired keeping the standard. You will. You still got to do it. When I look at, and I revere Michael Jordan, I revere Kobe Bryant. They're some of my two favorite athletes as basketball players. I revere Mike Tyson. And those three guys have some of the biggest mental dispositions of in terms of dichotomy ever. Right? But when you place them in the arena of where their talents are most suited, they all have one thing. My opponent will have to destroy me to overtake me. Regardless of whatever his rumors is going on around or the flu game in terms of Michael Jordan, He got on the court sick. Whether he made himself sick, the pizza made him sick, or somebody drugged him, he got on the court sick and delivered a game of all games, doing it tired. Now, the other side of this is going back to victim thinking, or to branch off of victim thinking. Why do I always have to do? Keep doing it. Not the wrong thing now. Prioritize doing the right thing and keep doing it even when you're tired of doing it because it seems like you're the only one doing it. Well, this is not about everybody and you. This is about you and you. Me and me. It ain't a we situation right now. I got to work on me and I got to keep myself doing it. For the field of work that I'm in, oftentimes I have to consult with men about their physical and sometimes their sexual wellness. So when they come to me and they say, do you have a treatment for that? I say, yeah, we got a treatment for that. But have you started doing A, B, and C that actually start with the mental and the physical before you get to the technical? Oftentimes people haven't. They think they can pay for certain things to go away. It's not always like that. Some of the biggest work and the biggest remedy to the work that we've got to do is going to start. And this is why we have to master our discipline. Now, Lord help me. I'm not trying to sound like a hypocrite, so I'm going to tell y'all got to pray for me when it comes to this part right here. Consistency over intensity. Jeez. Who put this together? Renee, somebody in the... I'm so, oh my God.
Stop it. Get some help.
Who put this one up in here? Consistency over intensity. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This one, a little bit tear jerker for me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I have always lacked in my consistency. I'm being real. I am consistent at having moments of consistency, but my intensity is always on. What I have to do, and what you would benefit from doing if you find yourself in similar situations, is you're going to have to temper or pull in your intensity. Let's switch the word to intensity with charisma. Because some of us, we can speak at the drop of a dime. We know how to woo people. We know how to get in and out of a situation to make you think, and you be judge, jury, and executioner, and we still make you think like, man, nah, you don't really have the choice. I got the choice, even though I have no choice, because we're that charismatic. But let me say this to you. When you depend on an individual intangible for too long, you become weaker in other areas to the degree where it might not be possible for you to actually build that up. So yes, like Renee said, you got to have balance. But in this case, it'd be better that you're way more consistent than your intensity. Charisma, feelings, energy, vibes, they are fleeting. Consistency is solid. It's resolute. I like that, Renee. Yes, intensity can lead to burnout. Here it is. Discipline is self-respect in action. You know, we're always quick to tell somebody when we feel they don't respect us. but we're never quick to point the mirror back at ourselves and say, do I respect me? Because if I did actually respect me, I wouldn't allow myself to do this. I wouldn't allow myself to crash out. I wouldn't allow myself to be inconsistent. I wouldn't. This is something I'm going to put into action for myself. 3 daily non-negotiables. And I'm going to track my consistency for 30 days. There's a saying that it takes 21 days to make or break a habit, whether it's good or bad. So for the next 30 days, we're going to build and work on 3 daily non-negotiables. So our standards. And after that, or in addition to that, we're going to track our consistency for the next 30 days. On to point number 3. Master your focus. Distraction is it's expensive, because distraction will always take from you more than it ever is going to give to you. People can be distracted and lose their life. People can be distracted and cause somebody else pain. People can be distracted and miss vital information. Some general distractions, social media, as much as even right now we're using it to reach a whole bunch of people at once. And as they watch this and repeat it, yeah, but social media overload. Personally, I've limited the amount of time that I'm on social media. In terms of my personal accounts, I think I've got 2 personal accounts. 3, sorry. I have 1 personal YouTube, 1 personal Facebook, and 1 personal Instagram. And even my wife has had to rebuke me and be like, yo, bro, sometimes you locked into that too much. Protecting your time. What do we mean by that? Protecting your time is it's not just others aren't wasting your time. It's you are not wasting your time. Sometimes you literally, and let's monkey branch or swing off of the aspect of the social media overload. You got money, but you going to the mall, but nothing in the mall is actually, you don't want to buy anything. But why? So why are you there? Working out, studying, reading books. I think the one thing that I miss that I used to do is I used to invest specific time into reading. So much so that I would sometimes get lost in it. But I used to make specific time for reading. And not just reading frivolously, like just a little book here, a little book there. I mean something in depth that's actually going to pour into my mind, pour knowledge, awaken a thought, awaken an idea. When we're not protecting our time, we're robbing ourselves of precious moments of creativity and ingenuity. We've got to learn to say no. We've got to learn to say no. And again, this all starts with self, because nobody can make you more unfocused than yourself. Something's moving over there. Got a notification over here. Are you invested in the time that you're tasked to do something? And I'm not speaking from a place of perfection. I'm speaking from a place of reality. Because even some of these things, as we're reading them, I'm just like, man, who put this together? Because they must have a lens on me that I didn't know somebody was watching me. Deep work versus busy work. You can be busy at a whole bunch of things and accomplish nothing, or you can be focused, disciplined, and intentional about a thing or the task that you have to complete, and one by one complete them, but not just complete them because to check them off, but complete them with quality. Everything we're talking about here is the foundation and stepping stones for other things, especially in the areas of life maturation and relationships. Where your focus goes, your future grows. Where your focus goes, your future goes. Or where your focus goes, your future grows. Whether you're trying to reduce your debt, study a topic, learn a skill, where your focus goes, your future grows. So if you're focused on the wrong thing, the negative thing, self-destructive things, well, your future is not looking too great. It's gonna have some bumps in there. What do we want to do with that? How do we want to get to this? We need 1 to 3 core goals for the year of 2026. We don't need 50. We need 1 to 3 core goals for 2026. And you know what we need to do? Eliminate just one major distraction. Can we do that? Can we eliminate one major distraction? And you know, the trick about this is the distraction is within our control. Master your emotions. We kind of already dipped into this a little bit. Reacting versus responding. Emotional control is strength. I was talking about this with a friend tonight before we came on the live, and we were literally talking about the ability to take that deep breath inward when we feel triggered or a overwhelming amount of anxiety. How many people have said the wrong thing, done the wrong thing, acted the wrong way, cut off the wrong people because their emotions was so triggered? It was like a tsunami that could not be tracked for an end date or an end point. We've got to manage our ego. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't always known what that is. Have I had ego at certain points? I could probably say yes. And the reason why I could probably say yes is because at some point I've thought I was the ruler of the world and everybody's got to bow to me. When I walk in the room, there must be some acknowledgement of that. We're gonna have to bring that down. We talked about remaining resolute under pressure. But leadership, can you lead yourself when you're under stress? Can you do it? This one I had to grow in, to go in. Handling criticism. Can I say this? Everybody needs criticism. Good and bad criticism. Good criticism will help you grow. Bad criticism will make you aware. Somebody's going to say, well, wouldn't the becoming aware help you grow? No, because once you become aware of a thing, whether you agree with it or not, you still have to make a choice what to do with what you now have become aware of. Good criticism will bring you to a plan. Bad criticism can impact whether you make a plan or act on your emotions. So we've got to, it would benefit us to have a mindset where whether I like the critique or not, I'm going to listen. And as they would say, you're going to pick the meat from the bones. What I say is store everything and see when it can be used. A man who cannot control his emotions will be controlled by them. There's a scripture that says a man who can control himself is likened unto a man who can take a city. I like that. I don't want to be so moved by my emotions and things that everybody can literally poke and prod at me just to get a little bit of laugh out of my inability to control myself. Well, how we want to enact this is we want to pause before we respond. The second thing we want to do is identify our emotional triggers. We've got to do that. Point number 5. Master your body. Energy drives execution. Get good sleep. Don't prioritize the wrong foods or too much of the wrong foods at the wrong time. Because let's be honest, I love my bowl of cereal on a Friday night when I'm watching a movie. If I'm chilling with my son, daughter, whatever, if we all happen to be chilling together and we watching a movie, I like a good bowl of cereal. I might throw a little slap of ice cream in there too. I ain't gonna lie to you. But to get up and have that every day as a go-to snack, no, that's not good. Oh, Lord. Physical health equals mental clarity. There is a fine balance in this. Ladies, a lot of your men, a lot of your husbands, they're not just tired because of, you know what I mean? They're just tired. A lot of them have an imbalance of their hormones, their testosterone to their estradiol, because their energy is out of whack, and their energy is out of whack because their diet is out of whack, and their sexual appetite is out of whack because all of those areas are out of whack. So now we've got to figure out, how do we get ourselves balanced? We've got to be disciplined to go to bed. Every night can't be Friday night. Hey, and I'll be honest with y'all, I'm guilty as charged. I am guilty as charged. So I'm not trying to preach something to you that I ain't working on myself. Okay. Again, Coach Chris would tell you the same thing. Training as mental sharpening. The more you go into training your body, and it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and necessarily bodybuild or act like you're going onto the court to play basketball. If you're a former athlete, then you would understand what I'm saying. By getting yourself back into that regimen will sharpen your mind and help your mind and the strength of it to bring clarity to your day. Prioritize eating at the right times. Making sure that you get some type of breakfast. If you have to have some types of vitamins or supplements with that, make sure it's the right vitamins and supplements, because that food is going to be your fuel. I like a good caramel macchiato from Starbucks. I really do. A venti caramel macchiato, Cali style. I love that. But I can't have that and think that that's going to carry me through my day. Here it is. You can't build a powerful life in a neglected body. So what are we going to do to deal with this? Move daily, hydrate, prioritize sleep like income. That actually makes a lot of sense, because, hey, if you don't have proper sleep, your boss catch you on the job lacking, that check is going to be impacted. You might have missed $1 million idea because you were impacted. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to be greedy. We went through 4, 5 points. So what we going to do is in 2 weeks' time. Y'all gonna come back and catch the last two. And we gonna review this one with Coach Chris, because he's a runner. He's a runner. He's a track star. Yeah, he's a runner. So he knows how to get that and put that work in. So we gonna review number 5 with him, Master Your Body, when we back in 2 weeks' time. Y'all, I am so thankful for y'all being here tonight. Thank you all for joining the live. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a question or you want to get the notes on these 4 points, make sure to send an email to the QOC Network at gmail.com. In the subject line, put A Bro Show 2026 Master Yourself points. And let's make sure we get you those blueprints, actionable blueprints, real men, real talk, real life, real solutions. My name is Conrad. Coach Chris is over there tackling the known world. Keep us in your prayers as we keep you in the prayers. Much love, peace, and abundance to all.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Another QOC production.
What it do? Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say, hey.
Hey, bro.
Moving forward from there. So that's what brought this whole partnership.
Say, let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
It's funny because he fell.
say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro. Say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro. Say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man, we talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother, we ride to the end. Back